Get Zarin for me. Oh, hello. Welcome to Driven It, James Bond Delicatessen. Get Zarin for me. And I'll tell you why after this. So you know what I've done. I've watched View to a Kill. It all came about because I was at a media event and I was sitting there around a table and I had my good friend Matt Robinson from Motorbikes with Matt. Give him a follow, link in the description. He's such fun. I've known Matt for a couple of years and I've done a couple of launches with him. He is really, really good fun. Give him a follow. Excellent. Anyway, so around the table, there's Matt and I, and we're sitting there with Nick Carville from GQ magazine and his partner. And I don't know how it came about, but we were talking about Bond. And Nick was saying that he wrote a piece for GQ magazine and was looking at all the B-sides for the Bond songs. And he said he listened to a lot of the songs, and his partner was there and just went, oh. And it was like, oh, he listened to a lot of the Bond songs. I like Bond songs, so, you know, big fan. However, Matt, the other side of the table, turned around and said, I don't like that one with Christopher Walken in. And we were like, I beg your pardon. And Nick's partner and I, clutching pearls, we just went, deep breath, like we had COPD. It's like, it's got Grace Jones in it. But yeah, Matt didn't like it. And I was like, something not right with that boy. It's not right in the head. But because it's brilliant. And it really, really is good. But let's get the worst bit of the film out of the way. Tanya Roberts, or Stacey Sutton, as her character name is. She was, as a Bond girl, diabolical. All she ever did was speak with limited dialogue. It's almost like the producers went, let's just cut her words. No, cut the words, less. 3, yeah, that's fine. Or she was just screaming. Every scene you see her, she's screaming. So there's a bit in the lift shaft, she's screaming, and then they're driving the fire truck, she's screaming, and there's a bit in, the strike thing where they sort of try and sink Silicon Valley, and there she is screaming, and there's a bit where Max scoops her up in his airship and she's screaming. And I think there's also a bit on the Golden Gate Bridge in America where she's screaming. And I tell you now, literally, I think for the first time that you hear her screaming, you're like, oh, girl, give it a rest. Or get a sore throat or laryngitis. No, she doesn't. She just continues to scream. And you go, oh. Now, the bad thing about this film, or the good thing about this film, the bad thing about this, and I'm going to mention this again, however, is it was Roger Moore's last outing. Oh, God bless. Because Roger Moore, favourite Bond. However, there's the other good thing about the film. The theme tune, View to a Kill by Duran Duran. Big, big fans of Duran Duran. Simon Le Bon, such a good-looking man. So I don't care what people say. Such a good-looking man back then, as he still is today. Fantastic. But the song, brilliant. Absolutely excellent song. And it was the first Bond song to appear on MTV. It made Bond songs sexy. So yeah, brilliant. However, the song, I do have a bit of a problem with the lyric. Now this is, I'll tell you, because I would always be singing, View to a Kill, strawberry cornflakes on your body. It doesn't make much sense, does it? I know. And it's not that, and I've had to write it down, because it is View to a Kill. And they go, the first crystal tears fall as snowflakes on your body. What the heck I heard, I haven't got a clue. Anyway, let's come outside. Anyway, you've not come for lyrics. You've come for the car chase. Because View to a Kill's car chase, it does feel like it was like the producers went, oh, fuck, we need to put a car chase thing in this. And we didn't plan for one. So do you know what? We've got 1 minute and 16 seconds. That's all this is. It's about 1 minute 16 or 20 seconds. But yeah, that's all they've got to annihilate a Renault 11. And there are huge problems. I mean, bear in mind that some of the James Bond chase sequences, you do sit there going, but this really is, what the heck? And it's quite, well, it's hugely comical. And also, little side note, it was Roger Moore's final outing as Bond. So yeah, what a way to go out with this hideous car chase. Anyway, so they get a Renault 11. Renault 11s at the time were not new. I mean, I think View to a Kill was, I've left my notes at home, 85? And the Renault 9 came out in, what, 82? So it's about a 3-year-old car. So Renault weren't going, here, have our car. We want product placement like they did with BMW and Aston Martin. Here, we don't want product placement. But I'm sure the makers of Renault were like, what the fuck? When you see what happens in that 1 minute and 16 seconds to their car. Because first things, it starts off quite well. Bond runs down to the cab driver, who's typically French, and was like, no, I'm having lunch. And he's like, follow it, no, I'm having lunch. Pulls him out of the car, jumps into his Renault, and does a fantastic, let's be honest, it is fantastic. We all go, oh, I like that. Little J-turn, reversing down the stairs. And you go, yeah, that's great. And he's driving across Paris and all over the place. And then ends up getting a bit lost and then drives up a ramp and then lands on a bus and then drives off the bus. And then, this is where it all goes wrong. Because he hits one of those barrier bars that you find in a car park. And you do sit there going, they're not that strong. Because here he is with the ramp. Now, there's a reason why I've come in my Honda Jazz and I've got a really nerdy fact for you. So stay tuned. Anyway, so he's got the barrier. And the barrier goes, poof, chops off the roof. And you go, yeah, those barriers, I've seen them in multi-storey car parks. They're just a bit of plastic, it'll just fuck off. No, knocks the roof off. Now, if you look closely at the video, you can see where they've made adjustments to the Renault, because it then sits with a really, really high roof. And you go, what's that, Prius Spas? Well, it's not Prius Spas, it's the Spas which came out. So it's like a mini Spas, or is it a precursor to the Megane Scenic? Who knows? Anyway, so the roof, poof, fucks off. And you go, what? And I'm sure Renault, as a company, are going, no, our car's a bit stronger than that. It won't just obliterate itself if you drive through a barrier in a car park. Anyway, then we get to the second part, which then should render the car chase poof, ended. No, there's a Renault 20, poof, bashes off the fucking back end of the car, and you go, oh, I didn't want my rear seats. And you go, right, but this car, now just this part, Honda's still driving it. And you go, no, mate. I mean, you know, bear in mind, we do believe that you can turn a Lotus into a submarine. That does all work. It's quite nicely done. But this thing, the fuel tank has gone, the roof has gone. And you go, no, hang on. And also the doors. Awesome. Anyway, so you go, no, mate, no. You should just go, it doesn't. And then you sit there going, because this is pre-fuel injection, you see, for the Renault 11. So you go, how big is that float chamber on the carburettor? It was carburettor at the time, you see. You know, bear in mind that cars generally hold about 80, I'm going to go on aluminum, about 80 mil, not a lot in a float chamber. And then you see where he drove, and you sort of go, what is the float chamber on a Renault 11? About 2 litres? Because he just carries on driving with just no back end. And you go, no, that don't work. So, yeah, got serious problems with that car chase because of all of that. However, I'm going to talk nerdy facts for you. Nerdy facts for you. What does a Honda Jazz have in common with a Lancia Delta S4 rally weapon that I'm posting a picture up here? This is from my friend Michael Ward from Auto Italia. He did a photo shoot with it recently. Oh, lucky sod. Anyway, what do these two cars have in common? And I'll tell you. Under the driver's arse and the passenger's arse is a fuel tank. Now, why am I talking about this when I've just spoken about the James Bond Renault? I'll tell you why. Because if they remake View to a Kill, or if this car was, say, possibly around, this would have been a perfect Bond car. I know, right? Perfect for an assassin, remember? No one would suspect you in one of these. You can commit many crimes in a Honda Jazz. No one would know. Anyway, so, lose the roof, lose the back end. We're all right. I've got a fuel tank underneath here, you see. So that's why the Honda Jazz would have been the perfect Bond car for that scene. But, yeah, okay. The Honda Jazz, as we know it, wasn't out then, because there was a Honda Jazz. Here we go, look, more nerdy facts for you. But it was called the Honda City. But it wasn't called the Honda City in the UK because British Leonard or Austin Rover owned the City moniker thing. So the Honda City that came to the UK, they had to then call it Jazz. And that's when you get the Jazz Mark I, which is a small little square car. Very, very cute. Tamiya did one. Was it Willys Wheeler? Cute little car they are. But yeah, there we go. And now we cut to the studio. Well, actually, it's not a studio, it's my spare room. But I'm going to talk about the Corgi and Matchbox toys. And there's also a little bit of a cheeky other toy that I've got that I'm going to flash up for you as well. So we come to the toys. Now, Corgi made a Renault 11 three-door hatchback. They didn't make it as a View to a Kill toy. You can now get a View to a Kill Corgi Renault 11. Fantastic. And it really is a nice die-cast toy. I had the three-door one that I bought that was broken, so I cut the roof off, cut the back off, painted it blue. Yeah, I can't find it. I've been in the loft and I cannot find it for love nor money. I've gone through all these boxes. There's a few up there, not many. However, I did find this, which I'm going to show you now. This was an old plastic road map that I've had since I was, very small. And I was like, my God, I've not seen this for ages. And I thought, I'm going to put that in a frame and put it somewhere, probably in the landing. Because I was like, wow, that brings up so many good memories. So many fun memories, trying to push cars into the water. I was a bit evil and driving cars onto an airport because, that's what you do. Anyway, so Corgi, yeah, you do now get them. However, they didn't have the licensing for the View to a Kill toys. Matchbox had them. Now, Matchbox only made View to a Kill toys in the little ones. So I've only got the little 5-door hatchback turbo. And it's quite nice. And they made a taxi one, and they made also the silver Rolls Royce that got pushed into the water. And that was, believe it or not, I was watching something on View to a Kill, nerdy fact for you. That Rolls Royce, not the one that got pushed into the water, of course, they took the engine out of that, but the actual Rolls Royce used was Cubby Broccoli's own. I know, right? Anyway, not come to talk about Rolls Royce, come to talk about Renault. So, yeah, Matchbox had the franchise for it, and they made a neat little taxi. Now, I had one of these, and I cut the roof off and I cut the back off, and I gave it to a friend. So you could literally put it together as a whole car or smash it to bits, like in the film. However, I'm going to go slightly off topic now, because you might be seeing this thing spinning up here going, Stuart, what the hell is that? I'll tell you what it is. It's a Renault 9. I don't like the Renault 9. How this thing won Car of the Year, it's anyone's guess. Anyway, Gisval from Spain, they made a Renault 9. So if you can't find the Corgi one, which you can do because they've now remanufactured it, or the Matchbox one, you can always use Gisval. No, it's only got single headlights, but yeah, if you want to cut it in half and do that stuff, brilliant. But I only bought this because it came with a caravan. I love a caravan toy. Love caravanning when my toys. However, the tow hitch is crap. But yeah, and so are Renault 9s. I never played with it. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you got something from that. And I hope you're like, oh yeah. And sort of sit you and you go, yeah, we can see why Stacey Sutton or Tanya Roberts got the razzle that she got from the film. Because to be honest with you, she really did rightly deserve it. She didn't really make much of a Charlie's Angels either, but Anyway, mind you, go, take care. See you soon. Right, let's go and watch another Bond film. Right, don't fall off. That almost fell off last time. Now, how random. Just a flip-flop. We're miles away from the beach round here. That's just a random flip-flop. Oh my God.